tonight promises to be an exciting one where we're not just celebrating, but one where we're also going to be taking a lot of learning. Now, as we know, in the era of rapid technological advancement, the ability to adapt and innovate and lead with foresight is very, very crucial and important. And it's the reason why tonight we're going to be delving into the transformative power of AI, artificial intelligence, and its profound implication on corporate governance and leadership. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, tonight we gather not only to celebrate achievement, but also to embrace the spirit of excellence that we represent. That is the core essence of what we represent at the CIoD. Thank you so much for coming out to celebrate and to rejoice with your loved ones if you're here felicitating with anyone. But if you're here as a new inductee, I want you to give another rousing applause to yourself. You made the right decision to be part of this noble institution. I'd like to recognize the leadership of the Chartered Institute of Directors. And I would start by recognizing our able chairman himself, the president of the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Directors, is the 18th president of the CIoD, a seasoned lawyer, a fellow of the Institute of Directors, with a rich history in CIoD roles and pioneer company secretary as well. Please, let's put our hands together as we recognize and appreciate the presence of Alhaji Tijani M. Borodo, LLM FCIOD, is our chief host tonight. Please put your hands together for our chief host very well. Thank you very much for having us here. Thank you so much. I'd also like to recognize the presence of the first vice president, an industry veteran himself with over 4 decades in hydrocarbon sector, Mr. Tunji Adetunji, I beg your pardon, Oyebanji, FCIOD. Thank you very much, sir, for welcoming us. I'd also like to recognize our host tonight, the beautiful and the elegant, ever so mindful, yes, the second vice president and chairman membership and branch development committee, a legal expert and business management consultant with over 3 decades experience. She holds a lot. Please, she's a champion of diversity and inclusion, and she brings a lot of wealth of experience to this institution. Please put your hands together for Mrs. Amina Oyagbola, FCIOD. I know we're supposed to have one of our immediate past president online. I don't know if she's online, but would like to recognize her presence. She's the immediate past president of the CIoD, Dr. E.J. Judainma, DFCIOD. I don't know if she's online. Please, let's put our hands together. She's supposed to be joining us online tonight. I'd also like to recognize the presence of that's the CEO, that's the Chief Executive Officer of the Chartered Institute of Directors. I'd like to recognize Mr. Dele Alimi. Please put your hands together for him. MCIOD, apologies. Thank you. Now, I'd also like to recognize the presence, don't worry, my acknowledgement will be cut short very quickly. I'd also like to recognize a member of the Governing Council here present, Alhaji Lamis Diko, FCIOD. Please put your hands together for him. Let's not tire out. I think we'll take all other recognitions as we go on. Thank you very much, sir. Please, to take us very quickly through our order of events tonight, and with the opening welcome address, I'd like to welcome on stage an inspirational leader, an astute boardroom executive. His visionary leadership has been instrumental in steering the course of the CIoD. Today, we stand here tall, proud of all the members that we're inducting today and all those that have been part of this institution because of leaders who continue to champion the cause of the CIoD. Please, let's put our hands together for the chairman and president of the Governing Council of the CIoD as he takes us in his welcome address. Please, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 6:15. We're starting a few minutes late. We didn't have assure you, we need to fast this event. There are about over 200 new inductees, and out of these 200, some are online, and we have over 140 physical. So you can understand why we need to be on the fast track lane. Our distinguished guest speaker, Mrs. Williams, CIoD, Country Manager, Microsoft, Nigeria. The first Vice President, Otumba Adetunji Oyebanji. The second Vice President, Mrs. Amina Oyagbola. The Honorary Legal Advisor, Dr. Yinka. Members of the Governing Council present here, particularly Alhaji Lamis Diko, who has come right from Abuja. Alhaji Lamis, thank you for coming. Members of the Executive Committee of our Institute, fellows and members of CIoD Nigeria, our prospective members of the Institute, both physical and online, gentlemen of praise, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria to this August occasion of the induction of new members into our prestigious institute. As you may be aware, the quality of membership in any professional body naturally defines its influence and relevance in the society. I feel very pleased to welcome the impressive directors who have applied and gone through various screening processes, as well as participated in the compulsory company directors course 1 of the Institute, which exposes them to corporate governance principles and best practices, and have been found worthy to be inducted today as new members of our Institute. Congratulations in advance. The new members' induction ceremony is one of the key milestones of the Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria. It is an event where our newly inducted directors are formally introduced to the Institute and its wide range of activities, while also having the opportunity to interact with other distinguished members of the Institute as well as its leadership. It marks the beginning of a journey that is sure to enrich your professional lives and expand your horizon as corporate leaders. I want to particularly appreciate the efforts of the Membership and Branch Development Committee of the Institute, led by the second Vice President, Ms. Amina Oyagbola, FCIOD, for working assiduously to ensure the success of this event. Their dedication and meticulous planning have ensured the success of this event. We are indeed grateful for the committee's invaluable contributions. Amina, thank you very much, and the members of your team. Ladies and gentlemen, CIoD Nigeria continue to pride itself as the voice of good corporate governance, and our pride is in our members who are dedicated and well positioned to always manifest uncommon ability to direct and lead their organizations in accordance with the principles of sound, good corporate governance. The CIoD is indeed a great place of honor and prestige to belong, and a great brand in the Nigerian business environment and beyond. I therefore congratulate you all for the bold steps you have taken to become members of this institute. Congratulations once more. Let me, however, point out to you that your admission into the institute today is both a call and a responsibility as directors into the global network of a responsible group of leaders that have committed themselves to be purveyors of corporate governance in their business and private lives, and have pledged to champion positive changes in their respective organizations and the Nigerian economy at large. I would like to encourage you all to make yourselves available for service by supporting the cause of the Institute where and when it is required. The service rendered to the Institute is indeed service to the Nigerian business community and the nation at large. Our gathering today is centered on the theme, Impact of Artificial Intelligence and Innovative Thinking on Governance and Leadership. This theme could not be timelier as we stand at the crossroad of significant technological transformation. Artificial intelligence is reshaping industries, redefining leadership, and challenging our traditional approaches to governance. As directors, we are no longer expected to merely oversee. We must engage deeply with the forces driving the disruption in order to secure the long-term sustainability of organizations. In today's fast evolving business climate, directors must occupy a unique role at the intersection of strategy, innovation, and execution. Our role is to steer organizations through the complexities of technological advancement, ensuring they remain relevant, resilient, and capable of thriving in this competitive global environment. That is the concept of sustainability. AI is one of the most powerful tools at our disposal. It has the potential to significantly enhance decision-making process, streamline operations, and unlock new growth opportunities. But this technology also comes with challenges that we must carefully navigate, particularly regarding ethical governance, data privacy, and societal impact. In fact, I've just come back from the CIBN annual conference in Abuja. AI was one of the themes. And a young lady stood up and said, like, we have heard all that you have said about AI, but in the Nigerian situation, the environment we have, are we sure we are ready for AI? She said, let me paint a scenario. These cars that you said, they don't need drivers. The professor said, yes, they are there. They have been put through the most complex traffic situation. And she said, okay, sir. Supposing I'm driving to Kefi, and then something happens, the satellite is not there, and the car stops, or the door of the car locks. What do I do? And then there's kidnapping. I see kidnappers coming. What do I do? It was in a lighter mood, but you see, really, we need to think through the use of AI, taking into account our own environment. It was a very good example the young lady brought, and it set us thinking a lot. So I us also to think through this kind of thing. As we embrace this new era, we must be cognizant of the responsibilities that come with deploying AI-driven solutions. Both must ensure that AI systems are transparent, unbiased, and ethically aligned with our organizational values. It is not enough to simply integrate AI into our business. We must also ensure it is used responsibly and in a way that benefits not just shareholders, but all stakeholders. On this note, I'm especially pleased to welcome our guest speaker, Mrs. Williams, MCIoD, Country Manager of Microsoft Nigeria and Ghana, an experienced business leader with over 2 decades in information technology industry. Mrs. Williams has helped numerous organizations harness the power of technology to achieve their business objectives. Her wealth of experience spanning consulting, supporting, channels, and people management makes her uniquely positioned to offer insights into how AI and other emerging technologies can be harnessed for good governance and leadership for us as directors. As directors, we must intentionally, in fostering a culture of innovation, we must be intentional in fostering a culture of innovation in our organizations. This means creating an environment that not only encourages experiments, but also rewards creative problem solving, Governance in the AI age is not about managing risk alone. It is about enabling growth through bold, forward-thinking leadership. We must be prepared to push boundaries, test new ideas, and embrace the disruptive forces that will inevitably reshape industries and markets. Furthermore, the success of our organization in this rapidly changing environment hinges on the talent we cultivate. It is essential to invest in upskilling and reskilling and retooling our workforce, ensuring that they possess the knowledge and capabilities to harness the full potentials of AI and other cutting-edge and emerging technologies. This requires strategic vision on the part of the leadership, particularly the board, by ensuring that our people are not just employees, but empowered stakeholders to contribute to the growth and transformation of our organizations. To our new members, both physical here and online, as you begin your journey with us, I would like to highlight an exceptional opportunity we are making available to you by virtue of an induction into the Institute today. This opportunity has not been offered to past inductees, so you are really privileged to have this opportunity. Let me tell you what it is. The Governing Council of the Institute has approved that individual members of the Institute can now register their organizations as corporate members of the Center for Corporate Governance. This registration is complimentary, and your organization will not pay any subscription for the first year of membership of the center. This is the opportunity. It's the first time we're putting this across to you. So you are privileged to have this, and I expect each and every one of you to take this opportunity. Now, CIoD Center for Corporate Governance was founded in 2006. It's a collaborative project of three, namely the Chartered Institute of Directors, the Security and Exchange Commission, SEC, the Regulatory Authority for Nigerian Capital Market, that is SEC, and the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, the sole agency government responsible for registration of companies in Nigeria. The center is committed to improving and promoting good corporate governance principles, standards, and practices in Nigeria through advocacy, research, high-quality training, and corporate governance. The council of our institute, in making this offer to your organization, is desirous of deepening good corporate governance practices in you individually, as our esteemed members, and also in your organizations as corporate members of CIoD CCG. Please take the opportunity. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm confident that today's theme will stimulate meaningful discussions, inspiring us all to think more deeply about the intersection of innovation and governance. I urge our new members to actively engage in the conversation, as your fresh perspectives and insights would undoubtedly enrich the Institute and our collective mission. You are joining this prestigious institute at a pivotal moment in history, and your leadership will play a critical role in shaping the future of governance in Nigeria and beyond. Together, let us commit to embracing innovation, leveraging AI responsibly, and fostering sustainable growth across all sectors. By doing so, we'll not only secure the future of organizations, but also contribute to the broader development of our economy and society. That is sustainability. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, our guests, our inductees, physical and online, let me welcome you once again. Let us move forward together with purpose, ambition, and a shared commitment to excellence leadership. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, sir. And that is the chairman and the president of the Chartered Institute of Nigeria's Governing Council. Please, another big round of applause for Alhaji Tijani M. Borodo, FCIoD, LLM. Thank you very much for those wise words and charge. Really, it is instructive for us to begin to embrace AI technology and see how its transformative power can enhance our business operations and even governance and leadership in business. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it gives me distinct pleasure to welcome on stage today our guest speaker for this evening. But before I do that, I'd like to quickly recognize the Honorary Legal Counsel for the Governing Council of the CIoD, Dr. Adeyinka Hassan. Please, let's put our hands together for him. My apologies, sir. Thank you very much. Also, thank you. So I'd please like to just speak a bit more about our speaker today. She's the country manager, as the chairman and president had mentioned. She's the country manager for Microsoft Nigeria and Ghana, a trailblazer in technology industry, driving digital transformation and cloud adoption across nations. Her passion for empowering businesses and individuals through technology is evident in her impressive career spanning over 2 decades. She is Olatomiwa's leadership, that's it, Olatomiwa Williams. Her leadership extends beyond the corporate realm. She's a dedicated advocate for women in technology, a role model and aspiring leader, a mother, a mentor. Her numerous accolades include Microsoft Gold Star Awards for excellence and recognition also as TechPoint Africa's top 50 women in technology. She also was recognized in 2023 as one of the peak performing women in Nigeria. Please can we put another hand together for her? Yes. So tonight, she will share a deep insight on the impact of AI and the innovative thinking on governance and leadership. Please join me in welcoming the woman of the moment. Please join me in welcoming our speaker for today. Please join me in welcoming again with a rousing applause, Mrs. Olatomiwa Williams, MCIOD.
Thank you very much for the warm welcome. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Please allow me to stand on existing protocol, but I want to appreciate the chairman of CIoD, and of course the first and vice president and second vice president and executive member of Chartered Institute of Directors for inviting me to speak on this important topic that is really close to my heart. I think if we look around the world today, it looks like the world is in turmoil. We are not just seeing one war, but two. There is inflation, we're talking about global warming, so many challenges facing us today. And when we look at the turmoil that is going on in the world, it's also an opportunity for us as leaders to create hope in people and also provide guidance on the way to drive this hope. And I believe that AI actually provides another level of hope for humans to create new opportunities for ourselves and to reinvent how we work, how we do businesses. So really I'm quite impressed that the CIoD leadership in their wisdom had really chosen this theme to discuss the impact of AI and innovation, thinking on governance and leadership. So I will spend the next couple of minutes just, providing us some insight on what this means for us as leaders and how we can actually guide our organization based on our experiences as Microsoft. Everybody is talking about artificial intelligence today. It's not moving. Is it? Can you go to the next slide then? But artificial intelligence history dates back to the 1950s. It's not just something that just came up suddenly. And with that, it takes some time for us to get to this point, but it's really started gaining momentum in 2012 with deep learning, where humans were able to invent machine learning technique in which layers of neural networks are used to process data and decision making. And that accelerated momentum landed us in 2021 with generative AI. And now we've been able to create new ways of, prompting AI to provide us with quick information, whether written, verbal, or auditory. And what is driving this really strong pace in adoption? One is the fact that we have more data. We're generating more data. It's estimated that by 2021, the data available in the world was estimated to be 75 zettabytes, and that is projected to be doubled by 2030. And we have more computing power because we have cloud computing. So we can scale computing power. And of course, innovation in algorithm, tools, and different frameworks that people can now use to reinvent our AI tool itself. That's why AI is gaining momentum and will continue to do so in very fast pace. But why is AI important? AI is a general purpose technology. And like any general purpose technology like printing press or electricity, it is meant to transform and impact every aspect of our life. And it will enhance human productivity the same way printing press and electricity impacted our productivity in human history. So permit me to quickly go into some historical context, especially on how printing press impacted the world. Can you please move? Okay, I can move my slide now. Thank you. And I really love a story shared by our Vice President Brad Smith on printing press, how it's innovated, how it drove innovation in the world, and parallelly to the way AI will impact our world. The printing press was invented in a small town called Mainz, now part of what we call modern-day Germany. But it's not about where a technology was invented, the same way AI is invented in Silicon Valley. But printing press itself will not drive economic prosperity. You need to have papers, you need to have ink, you need to have writers, readers, you need to have people that will bind books. It created new economy. The most important lesson for me from that story is the fact that Netherlands, who was contributing 7% to the entire European economy, within 15 years, was able to contribute 12% to European economy around 1450. Why? Because they created more books, they read more books, and they were able to balloon their economy. They grew more than any other countries because they did not just look at technology, but they used it and build more. So that same way, we have the opportunity in Nigeria. AI wasn't invented in Nigeria, but if we use it, if we build technology and solutions around it, then it can help to impact our GDP in ways that we might not even imagine. And cloud had really provided a level playing field. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. So, if we look at, can you please let me handle the slide? Thank you. It's not moving. Okay. So in Nigeria, for example, in Africa, to put it in perspective, it's estimated that AI could expand Africa's economy by 50% of its current GDP if we could only take advantage of the 10% global AI market. And we're already seeing impact in Nigeria. For example, Access Bank have started embracing Microsoft 365 Copilot to enhance their daily tools with generative AI capabilities. And they're already seeing benefits in increasing meeting engagements, quicker code writing for their developers, and efficient chatbot launches because they're able to churn out solutions faster. But if we put it into context for us as leaders, what does this mean? One, AI is a tool that can really be very strategic to boardroom by allowing leaders to be more productive and be able to focus on more innovative activities by ensuring that they're able to take data-driven decision-making. And of course, that will foster innovation and growth within the organization and help leaders to make better, to take better, drive better risk management. Same way in governance, AI can be a very important tool in ensuring that organization can enhance policy making, service delivery, operational efficiency, and of course, ethical governance because it's based on actual data. And if we look at all of this holistically, AI actually have capability not only in leadership, but across board, as I said earlier on. So it will impact our lives, whether it's in helping us to produce more farm products that can help to save growing population of humans from hunger, or being inclusive by ensuring that our underserved communities actually have access to the right tools to make them to contribute to global economy. All of this sounds really interesting, right? However, this positive impact also provides us with questions. So it's not a question of what AI can do, but what AI should do. And I think the example that the president shared earlier on around autonomous driving is very, it's really something that we can relate with. So AI is not just we want to adopt a tool. We need to understand the fundamentals and how we can actually leverage it in a way that is beneficial to all. So let me take you on a journey on how we at Microsoft, we've been able to build the right framework to help us to not only build AI solutions in a responsible manner, but also to be able to help other organizations see how they can adopt that. We've taken over 20 years of research and have applied it in developing AI guidelines and standards that are meant to help others to anticipate same. So, one of the principles that we are actually build is called Responsible AI and Trusted AI Platform, based on 6 core principles: fairness, reliability, inclusivity, privacy, transparency, and accountability. Let me talk about fairness quickly. Fairness in terms of AI is actually when AI systems should treat everyone fairly. And we see one of these in an example that I would like to share with you when our global team partnered with a financial services organization to pilot loan profiling for people. And at the end of the day, we used real customer data, and real life algorithm, we discovered that through audits, the loan profiling was profiling more men to accept to have loan than women, because traditionally the loan officers had favored men. So, but without audits, the AI tool wouldn't have been able to detect that. So for us to guide against excluding people, there's some key consideration that we should be thinking about when we are evaluating AI tools within our organization. One, understand the scope and the spirit and the potential use of AI for your organization. Attract a diverse pool of talent to review the AI solution, and put processes and tools in place to identify bias and data sets that could actually inadvertently eliminate others. The second one is really a principle that we are building our AI solution on, is reliability and safety. It is important that AI tools or solution operates reliably and safely consistently, even in adverse situations. For example, the autonomous driving that was talking about, if we bring it to Nigeria, we have to ensure that we put all the context so that in adverse situation, like the example that was shared, the self-driving car should be able to take decision that will not harm people. And we see this also example in mining industry, in agriculture and different industries. Privacy and security is also very important. I'm sure some of us knew about a time where we released Tay, a chatbot integrated with Twitter. We were trying to train it to be able to interact with human and respond in context. But within 24 hours, it was able to learn bias in terms of bigotry, and a tool that was meant to have positive impact suddenly turned to be a hate tool in the hands of bad actors. Now, if we don't have a system in place to check all of that, that could turn, south. So it's really important to comply with relevant data protection and privacy laws, and design AI system to de-identify and maintain integrity of personal data. And of course, it's really crucial to continue to conduct security and privacy review of AI tools. The next one is really inclusiveness. This is really important. AI systems should empower everybody to engage irrespective of color, race, or background. And there are key models that we have identified to help to comply with laws regarding accessibility and inclusivity, consider common use accessibility standard, and have more people with disability to test the AI system. And as leaders, transparency should be really important to all. This is our fifth pillar. And this talks to the fact that people should understand how AI systems make decisions. For example, we partnered with a health organization in India where we leverage AI tool to be able to diagnose disease. But doctors should be able to know how those diagnoses were arrived at, so that they can also make informed decision on that. So your AI tool, a human should be able to understand how AI tool make decision. And the last one is accountability. Accountability in the sense that at the end of the day, human beings should be accountable for how AI is being used. So people should be able to understand how AI is used and maintain responsibility for maintaining control. For example, I am attending a meeting and I have my AI summarize my meeting for me. It's really important for me to read through to really confirm that that's what has been done. So our AI tool should not just be any tool that does everything for human beings. And that's why for us at Microsoft, we codename our AI solution Copilot. is working along with human, not taking control of human being. But all of this is not just sufficient by itself. There should be guiding principles, should be a holistic approach with governance and, of course, external engagement, because we are all learning along. And for us, this is our own approach, and every organization is free to adopt their own approach that is suitable for them. So you don't necessarily have to have those multiple roles. It could be just one person performing all these 3 roles within your organization. And of course, external engagement is crucial. And having forums like this where we talk about pertinent issues around AI and what it means for our organization also foster, cross-organizational learning, and also inspire new way of thinking around how AI can impact our lives. So it's really important, and I encourage all of us to really participate in internal engagement around AI. So there are so many use cases of AI, right? And it will continue to grow. For example, in financial services, we have financial inclusion, so we can create AI bots that can help people in underserved community to be able to interact with financial experts and give them expert advice. In education, it could be translating or preserving our native language and help AI translate native language as we speak. So for example, as I'm speaking, AI can actually be translating to Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, so that people that don't understand English that are in the room can really follow along. And it will continue to grow. The future of AI is bright, but it depends on, how all of us really partner with it. So as data continue to grow, AI uses and use cases will continue to evolve. And new models will come up that will help us to even bring up new innovation that we're not currently thinking about. Who knows what's going to come next on AI, but it's really important that we all participate in it. So I really want to encourage all of us. Let us all be part of this move, not just only as spectators, but as leaders, leading the conversation around AI within our organization. But I know that a lot of education is required. So for us as Microsoft, we have created a number of courses to help support leaders. So if you go search for AI Business School, is available online. You can enroll, so educate yourself through AI Business School. Or you can also visit our AI labs to interact with AI technologies, looking at what is possible. And if you feel techy and you want to, try your hands on some coding, there is also AI School for Developers. So, thank you very much. I hope you've been able to get one or two things from my presentation. Thank you for having me.
Was that very insightful? Please can we put our hands together again for her? Absolutely very insightful and thought-provoking. I'm sure she's left us with a lot to go and think about. I'm particularly thrilled by all that she put up here, especially some of that information. Really, I know the conversation around AI has been AI taking the job of humans, AI doing this, AI doing that. But while she was presenting, one very interesting quote I found online, I want to read it. It says, AI won't replace humans, but humans using AI will. Did you get that? AI will not replace humans, but it is humans that use AI that will replace the humans that are not using AI. So it's important that you adapt. Look to the person sitting next to you, give them a slight nudge and tell them, adapt, 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 adapt. Exactly, be innovative, take AI on. Yes, that text message you are spending the whole day to type, use Meta to type it. It will be faster and quicker. But just be sure to look at it very well. So it's not saying what you did not intend to say. Absolutely. But thank you so much. Please, another big round of applause for Mrs. Olatomiwa Williams, our Chief our guest speaker for tonight. And thank you so much for the insights you have shared. We are so thrilled and we're excited by the information. You have inspired us. You have provoked us to really think deeper in the ways that we're supposed to be deploying AI. And I trust that the new members that we're inducting tonight to the CIoD will bring their A game, not their AI game, to the board. Aren't we going to do that, new inductees? Absolutely. Thank you. I feel it from that table. These are the AI members. Now, the rest are not. Okay. Thank you so much. We'll move the event forward very quickly. And this time, we're going to be taking some quick words from the second vice president of the CIoD. She's going to be making a quick presentation on the CIoD. Please, let's put our hands together for the second vice president and chairman, membership and branch development, Mrs. Amina Oyagbola. Thank you. Can we do better, please?
Please give it up for our able MC. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, leaders, directors, business leaders. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. Just a few words following the speech by the President and Chairman of Council, Alhaji Tijani Borodo, just to give you a deep dive, a little more insight into your fantastic institute, the Chartered Institute of Directors. It is indeed the leading and most prestigious institute in Nigeria. And of course, for those of us who are directors, privileged to be directors, have the responsibility to be directors, have the accountability to be directors, and are sitting at the very, very peak and at the top of the pyramid. It comes with a lot of responsibility, and as you join this fantastic institute, please don't be a silent member. Don't be an inactive member. Don't just tick that box, but be an active participant and a real full-fledged member of this fantastic institute. And since Alhaji Tijani has taken on the reins of this institute, there's so many exciting things for you to look forward to. And I'm just going to quickly share some of those things as I go along. So the first thing is just so that you know what the vision of the Chartered Institute of Directors is. Our aim is to be the leading world-class professional institute, consistently promoting best corporate governance practices, director development, and advocacy. And every single word in that vision statement was carefully crafted, well thought about. So we mean exactly that. The leading world-class professional institute for directors. Our mission is to build capacity of directors to be more competent than you already are. You wouldn't be here if you were not competent. To be even more competent, razor-sharp, and committed professionals through very well-developed programs, mentoring schemes, sound ethical practices, and then also for us to be able to enrich and influence public policy through the advocacy that we do as a chartered institute. And I'd like to encourage all of us to take an active interest whenever you see the communication coming out from the Chartered Institute on these various programs by the CIoD itself and also by the, our Center for Corporate Governance that our president spoke about earlier. Our core values are explained by a beautiful acronym. We're about impact. We're all about impact. And it's easy to remember, isn't it? Impact. What does impact stand for? Integrity, meritocracy, professionalism, accountability and probity, customer centricity, and teamwork. And the institute, your institute was founded in May 1983. And it is the Professional Institute for Directors in Nigeria, the Professional Institute for Directors in Nigeria, that promotes best practices in corporate governance through director development, research, and advocacy. We are a not-for-profit membership organization with over 6,000 members and growing strong every day, comprising of business leaders like yourselves from the Nigerian private sector and public sector and civil society. CIoD Nigeria aims to safeguard the integrity and status of directorship as a profession by serving as the professional body for directors and by the provision of a professional designation to assess and credit mastery. And again, I'd like you to watch this space. We have more interesting things coming out, and I'll leave it to our president to share that with you at the appropriate time. The Chartered Institute of Directors also is chartered. You're coming in at a time when we got our charter status in May of last year, 2023, by virtue of the Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria Establishment Act 2023. And you can see that for yourself. It's been published in the official gazette, and it was published in August of last year. A little bit more about our great institutes. We are recognized not just in Nigeria, we're also recognized globally for our leading role in corporate governance, and we are a respected professional body and voice in national and international forums. In addition, we are founding members of the African Corporate Governance Network, and you can proudly, beat your chest wherever you are, about that. And we were recently admitted as a member of the very, very prestigious global network of director institutes. And Nigeria is the only, the Chartered Institute of Nigeria is the only institute in Nigeria that has been so admitted. They only admit one organization in country. So it's very, very, very exclusive. So the Chartered Institute of Nigeria, we currently have 3 branches, and they are located in Abeokuta, Abuja, and Port Harcourt for now. We intend to expand, but our national secretariat, and that may soon change, is located right now at number 28 Olawale Edun Road, former Cameron Road in Ikoyi. So that's where your go-to place for basic inquiries and so on for now. The objectives of the institutes are numerous. I won't take up too much time, but essentially to improve the professional competence, as I said, of directors, as company directors, business and public sector leaders in Nigeria, to provide a platform and a forum for advocacy for our members in public affairs, to formulate ethics codes and standards, encourage ethical leadership and good governance for directors, and to enable and empower our members regarding your legal and your fiduciary duties and responsibilities as directors on boards, not just to the companies that you superintend, but also to the larger society. And also to help us to continue to remain current, which is why at a forum like this, we always invite distinguished speakers like, the speaker from Microsoft you just listened to, the country manager for Microsoft, Mrs. Williams. Thank you again for that beautiful presentation that you made for all of us. I hope that we've all learned something from that presentation. I certainly have taken many things away about AI, and I'm definitely going to access those wonderful tools online that are free, right? So I'm sure they won't remain free for very long. So if I were you, I'd go there this weekend and, get updated. We also try to encourage and promote and coordinate research into relevant topics and subjects that will be useful to our directors. And we also try and publish and sponsor the publication of journals and articles. And if you are so moved, you have the research capability or you have the writing capability and you want to write articles, you can also, write your articles and you have the opportunity to get them published in our magazine. So there's so many opportunities for us there. We also monitor and make input into relevant legislation that is passing through the National Assembly where possible to ensure that the basic commercial expectations and freedoms and rights are preserved, and a climate that will be conducive to the enabling business environment that we all would like to see, that would also enhance economic growth in our country is maintained. Established branches of the Institute of Directors, Nigeria, are in suitable locations, as I've already indicated. In terms of our objectives, this is a bit of a repetition, so I'll skip this slide. Can we move on to the next slide, please? I've talked about the ethics code. The Institute has its own ethics code, which has become a sort of reference point and guide for organizations who don't have one or who want to enhance the ethics codes. You can use that as a reference guide, to do so. But we hold members of the Institute of Directors to the tenets and the principles that are contained in our own ethics code. In terms of the categories of membership that we have, you can come in at first the associate level and then get upgraded to the member level. Can become a life member as well, it's an option if you don't want to pay your subscription on a yearly basis. And then, you can become a fellow of the Institute of Directors. And, depending on what your contribution in business and to the nation, you can be, courtesy of Mr. President and the Governing Council, be made an honorary fellow. And the highest cadre for now is the Distinguished Fellow. As I say, we are always evolving, and there are things in the pipeline. So watch this space. More things are coming very soon. The benefits of joining the Institute, beyond all of the things that I've just mentioned, there are also some other, what I would call service offerings, which are very useful to all of us as we navigate, as we go about our businesses. So you have access to group life insurance up to for those, all members under the age of 70. There's approval, of course, to join the Federal Reporting Council, and also for you to be able to sign company accounts, which is very, very useful. You have free use of the Members' Lounge at the CIoD National Secretariat. So you have access to subsidized rates for use of meetings and training rooms in the National Secretariat. Free attendance of CIoD members' evenings. Significant discounts on director-level courses and seminars. Very, very good director-level seminars and courses, even though I say so. Significant discounts at partner hotels, airports, lounges all over Nigeria. And of course, you know that you are joining an unparalleled local and global network of business leaders. So the networking opportunity through this Chartered Institute is phenomenal. And you have access to discounted laboratory investigations at SynLab. So we think about everything. It's a 360-degree, including your well-being and your health. And because without health, health is wealth. Without health, you have nothing. So in addition, there's a list here of, I'm sure you'll have access to this information of all the hotels and so on, where these benefits, can accrue to you. And we have some standing committees and some sectoral committees. The standing committees that exist in the Institute, where we expect distinguished members to want to serve and contribute their technical knowledge and experience, include the Membership and Branch Development Committee, the Audit, Risk and Compliance Committee, the Director Development and Certification Committee, the Finance and General Purpose Committee that is chaired by the First Vice President, the Nominations and Governance Committee, the Fellows and Awards Committee, and the Advocacy Stakeholder Management Committee. Now, the sectoral groups are very, very important because we all belong to one sector or the other. And when you join the Institute, you'll have the opportunity to decide, which sector is of most interest to you, of most relevance to you, and where you think you can best contribute your talents. And there are several sectors: power and energy, information technology, oil and gas, telecoms, banking and finance and financial services, capital market group, agric and agro-allied group, industrial group, tourism and hospitality, transport and logistics, insurance, professional services, and health and social services. At these forums, it's always important to recognize and acknowledge and appreciate, the hard work that has been put in by our past presidents. It is on their own shoulders that we all stand. And so make a point of always reading out the names so that we can never forget them. Their names are written in sand and in gold. The late Chief of Gobadia, the late of blessed memory Olutoyin Olakunrin, the late Alhaji Ali Baba, the late Alhaji Otiti, the late Oba Oladele Olashore, the late of blessed memory Mr. Emmanuel Idoya Ijewere, Alhaji Umar Abagana, and of course, these ones are present, very present and healthy, and are with us, and we pray they will remain with us for a long time. Ms. Benedicta Moloku, Mr. Femi Ekundayo, sadly the late Olushola Dada, present with us Mr. Chike Nwanze, Architect Thomas Awagu, Chief Mrs. Eniola Fadayomi, Mr. Samuel Yemi Akeju, Alhaji Ahmed Rufai Mohammed, Chief Chris Okunowo, Dr. E.J. Jidema, immediate past president, and of course, our sitting president, Alhaji Borodo, here with us. Please give them all a round of applause. Thank you. Also, some other very interesting programs you might just want to keep at the back of your head. We have fantastic forums and programs, I have to say, and we're getting better and better, continuously improving our standard. And when you join us, you will take us even further. That's the whole idea. A program called Walk for Life, which is really about well-being and health. There's a Fellows Luncheon for fellows. There's also the Fellows Investiture, which is also very, very interesting. So these things are aspirational as you join, things you can look forward to. There's the General Members Evening, which is also a fantastic forum. Again, very educational for knowledge sharing. At that forum, you'll have an opportunity to interact more closely, and you have an opportunity to ask questions of the speakers and so on. We try to identify very interesting and relevant topics that will be of interest to our directors. And then we have the Women Directors Conference, which is focused on women and the whole subject of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Then we have the Women Directors Luncheon, which gives women an opportunity to get together and discuss and engage and network. And then we've just concluded the Women's Directors Conference last week, and it was really, really an amazing event. I don't know whether some of you here had the opportunity to participate in that. There's also the advocacy programs on leadership and corporate governance. The Center for Corporate Governance had also a summit not too long ago, about a month ago. It was also an amazing convening. And we have numerous local and international training programs, some here, some in England, some in Canada, and in other climes. And we have the Nigerian Annual Directors Conference, which is coming up. It's around the corner, and so please make sure you register for that and attend. This year it's in Lagos, so it's more easily accessible to all of us. And then you have the CIoD Annual Directors Dinner, and of course the Young Directors Forum, which is a big omission on this list. It should be on this list. Which is also a very, very powerful platform for young directors, where you can ideate, innovate, and address the issues that speak to you more closely and more directly. I think I've already mentioned about the Africa Corporate Governance Network, which you belong to. The mission of that is to develop the institutional capacity of ACGN members for enhancing effective corporate governance practices towards building better private and public sector organizations and corporate citizens in Africa. I'd also mentioned the global network of director institutes that we belong to, which, I mean, there are over 40 member nations, globally. So it's a huge global network, and we're privileged to be part of it. Again, the mission of GNDI is to strengthen corporate governance and director development and thought leadership through collaboration among the world's leading director organizations. And by being a member of this institute, you're automatically a member of GNDI. And again, our center, the CIoD Center for Corporate Governance, which, Mr. President talked about, has been established in collaboration with the CAC and the Securities and Exchange Commission, another powerful platform. And please seize the opportunity to register your organizations free of charge for the first 1 year. It's an opportunity really that should not be missed. Yeah. And then, there's the institutional membership and corporate membership platform. And the last slide is really just to, share our social media handles, which you can engage with. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn. And finally, in case you would like to introduce more members, we want to keep expanding and growing this network. You want to introduce more members to the Institute, this is how you can do it. All you need to do is visit the CIoD Nigeria website on www.iodnigeria.org and log on to the membership portal and follow the instructions. And if you have any challenges, please contact the membership department. The director of membership is standing at the back over there, Senna, and there's a telephone number there as well that you can reach, or you simply send an email to membership@iodnigeria.org. On that note, I just want to close by saying thank you very much for listening. Let us not forget that as leaders, leadership is not about being in charge, it's about taking charge of those in your charge. And that's a quote by Simon Sinek. And so, the companies, we have to take charge of all the companies that we superintend and the employees and the other stakeholders within them. To be a director is a huge, huge responsibility, and it's becoming more and more burdensome. So I pray that God will enable all of us to continue to lead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. Another big round of applause for the second Vice President of the CIoD, Mrs. Amina Oyagbola. She's reeled out a lot of benefit. It looks like it's buy one, get 1,000 free. It is so good to be a part of this community. It is one that is truly prestigious and not one to just easily come by. So we are honored. And a big congratulations again to the new inductees of the September 2024 set, please. Congratulations to you again, and you are welcome to the fold. Before we welcome you officially, before we welcome new members into the fold, we'd like to witness the solemn oath-taking ceremony, which is a critical part of your induction. Please, I'd like to invite up stage the first Vice President of the CIoD, Mr. Adetunji Oyebanji, Fellow of the Chartered Institute of Directors. Please, let's put our hands together. This is one of the high points of tonight's event, so please, it's your moment. People that are online, please take note. We're doing this.
Thank you very much. Mr. President, office bearers here present, members of council, fellows, distinguished new inductees this evening, ladies and gentlemen. My assignment this evening is very simple. It will not take too much time. However, it is a very critical element of this evening's events. In fact, as I was coming up, I was trying to gauge the level of applause I was receiving so as to decide whether I would sit down and not. Okay, on that note, I think we can proceed. There are two elements, actually. One is the affirmation, and if you look at, I think this is on page 30 in your booklet, there's also a list of sectoral groups. The second vice president in her comments did make reference to this. So please, when we finish the exercise, please tick the box for whichever of the sectoral groups you would like to belong. And please take note of this. When you do that, and you also sign the affirmation page, when you are coming forward to receive your certificate and shake the hand of the president, please bring the signed copy along together with that sheet where you would have ticked the sectoral group. This is very important. Thank you, because if you don't do that, your affirmation may have been in vain. So, without further ado, may I crave your indulgence, the new inductees, to please rise to your feet, wherever you are. Thank you. And please follow me. As we start, you will put your name or call your name in the blank space, and then we will take it step by step and repeat after me. Don't go ahead of me. So if we are all set, are we all there? Do we have our affirmation pages open? Okay, thank you very much. So 1, 2, go. I affirm that I will adhere to the rules, regulations, and bylaws of CIoD Nigeria at all times. I will, at all times, maintain a high level of integrity, ethical standards, professionalism, and enterprise. I will strive to enhance the principle of good corporate governance in all my dealings. I will not do anything that will bring the name of the Institute into disrepute. I have not been found guilty of any criminal act or similar proceedings of fraud. Market manipulation, fraudulent misrepresentation, insider trading, or other similar offense, and any crime whatsoever described by law. I have received a copy of the CIoD Code of Ethics
Received a copy of for members
of the Institute.
For members of the Institute.
I have read and I understand its contents, and I agree to adhere to I have read and I understand its contents and agree to adhere to the principles and policies outlined in the code.
and agree to adhere to the principles and policies outlined in the
I have also read and I understand the CIoD conflict of interest policy.
I have also read
And its contents. I agree to comply with its provisions and recuse myself from deliberations and voting on contracts, transactions, activities or arrangements, and acts whatsoever that could give rise to a conflict of interest. I will immediately notify the Institute as soon as practicable. If any of the events described above occurs subsequent to joining the Institute. And during the term of my CIoD Nigeria membership. I will ensure my active participation in at least one selected CIoD sectorial group and make positive contributions to further the development of the Institute. So help me God. Congratulations and welcome to CIoD. A round of applause for yourselves. Thank you very much. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much, sir. A big congratulations. I think we can congratulate the others. If you're here to felicitate with anyone, if you're here to celebrate with anyone, it would be good to congratulate the person. They are officially members of the Chartered Institute of Directors, the exclusive, prestigious Institute of Directors, the #1 in Nigeria. Please put your hands together for yourself and you are welcome. Congratulations, congratulations. Today you have taken a significant step to pledge your commitment to upholding the tenets of the Chartered Institute of Directors. Please, congratulations to you and welcome to the CIoD family. Please put your hands together again for yourselves. Now, we have fed our minds learning a lot about AI and its transformative power. It's time to feed our tummy with some food before the night goes far. So please, dinner is served. We have, yes, dinner is served. Apologies for that. Okay, but we will start first with the Governing Council leading us to dinner, please. So SARS and Mars, dinner is served and is bon appetit. The team would also coordinate our movement to the dinner table, please. Thank you very much. And as we conclude our signing and all, please let's do dinner in good time. Thank you very much. Music?
Thank you very much. I'll see trees of green, red roses too. I'll see them bloom for me and you. Then I say to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh yes, as the skies so blue, the clouds are white, this bright, blessed day, and this dark, second night, then I say to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh yes, oh yes, the colors of rainbows, so pretty in the skies and also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking and saying, how do you do? They were saying, I love you. I hear babies, they cry. I watch them grow. They learn much more than we ever knew. And I say to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of rainbows, so pretty in the skies and also on the faces of people sitting down. I see friends shaking hands saying, how do you do? They were saying, I love you. I hear babies, they cry. I watch them grow. They learn much more than we ever knew. And I say to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh yes, then I say to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh yeah. Thank you very much, especially for the inductees. Thank you very much.
Our certificate is not here. Our certificate is not here. What's the name again? The certificate is not here. So please just step down for us. So they will look for the certificate and I'll call you. Julius Anga. Julius Anga. And to be followed by Bala Shiroma. Bala Shiroma. Please come forward. Yusuf Ghazali. Yusuf Ghazali. Idris Sulaiman. Idris Sulaiman. Ovuegbe Hawkins. Ovuegbe Hawkins. To be followed by Arinola Koladaisi. Please come forward. Emmanuel Garba. Lukman Emiola. Aino Dele Adegbola. Ngozi Oga. Ngozi Oga. Olufunmilayo Nwaguma. Olufumilayo Nwaguma, please go ahead. Maruf Tijani. Maruf Tijani. Olushola Adeniran. Oludolapo Adigun. Adebopo Oyekan Ismaila. Oluwabukola Olagbaju. Shirley Uluma Ifeanyi. Doyin Abiola Tobun. Adetayo Adegbongbe. That's Tobun. Adetayo Adegbongbe. Bibilomo Olusekun. Edwin Ogbogu. Edwin Ogbogu. Where? Adedoja Allen. Adedoja Allen. Oladiran Abidakun. Adebowale Akintoke. Glory ACN. Glory ACN. Adeyemi Oyewumi. Adeyemi Oyewumi. Solace Akade. Solace Akade. Oladotun Adeogun. Modupe Adeola Animashaun. Modupe Adeola Animashaun. Oluwayemisi Disu. Azuka Eluchie. Ejiro Frank Ogomigo. Azuka. Ejiro Frank Ogomigo. Temitope Runsewe. Temitope Runsewe. Adenike Feyintola Abuwa. Adenike Feyintola Abuwa. Lanre Odushote. Lanre Odushote. Amina Adamu Fika. Ayodele Susanna Ariman. Ayodele Susanna Ariman. Catherine Ashenoga Farah. Catherine Ashenoga Farah. Abayomi Omomuwason. Abayomi Omomuwason. Fiona Nyako Ahimie. Abayomi Omomuwason. Yes, just a minute now. Okay, let's do it. Alausa Adewuyi. Alausa Adewuyi. Stella Okene. Stella Okene. Odunwayo Omolade Soya. Stella Okene Odunwayo Omolade Soya. Everywhere you go. Babashola Peter Aluko. Babashola Peter Aluko. Celestine Kane Cliff. Celestine Kane Cliff. Rotimi Adedayo. Rotimi Adedayo.
To my fellow new members, congratulations on this significant achievement. Today marks the beginning of a journey. If you want to clap, go ahead and clap actually. So let's give ourselves a round of applause. Yay! Congratulations, everyone. Yeah, so today marks the beginning of a journey where we embrace the values and responsibilities of being part of a very prestigious organization. Being a member of the Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria brings with it invaluable networking opportunities, access to cutting-edge resources, and offers a platform for continuous professional development. Membership also signifies a commitment to upholding the highest standards of governance and to contribute meaningfully to the advancement of our industries and institutions. With these benefits come important responsibilities. As members, we are tasked with setting example of integrity and excellence. We must continually strive to foster a culture of transparency, ethical leadership, and innovation. Let us remember that our actions and decisions reflect not only on ourselves, but on the Institute and the broader business community we represent. As we embark on this exciting new chapter, I wish my fellow new members, and indeed every member of the Institute, the very best of luck. May we collectively harness our knowledge, skills, and dedication to drive progress and uphold the esteemed value of our Institute. Thank you to everyone who made this evening possible, and a special thank you to the Institute's leadership and organizers of these tireless efforts and for their tireless efforts and support. Here is to a future filled with continued success, growth, and impactful leadership. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ma. A truly impactful one. Thank you. I think we have one more certificate to present, just last one. But please, important to note, do not go home with the acknowledgement copy of your certificate. Please turn it in to any of our members all around. We're working around to just pick that up. Please note, do not go home with the acknowledgement copy of the certificate. It's in the folder where your certificate is contained. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There is a copy of the certificate in this folder. Please sign and return to one of our staff. Please don't go home with it. It's going to be in our records. Thank you very much. I would like to invite Babatunde Aragbada. Babatunde Aragbada. Yes, sir.
Also note that there will be a group photograph, so all new members, please note, there will be a group photograph. You never know when you will be required to present a proof of being here. Please wait behind and be part of the photograph. For the vote of thanks, okay, we will do it now, before the vote of thanks. Okay, please, we will do the group photograph before the vote of thanks. Please, yes, we can start making. Okay, whilst we're setting up. Okay then, thank you. So we'll take the vote of thanks whilst we're setting up. Please, members, execute the acknowledgement copy and then you can come forward for the group photograph. Please, I'd like to invite the director for membership and yes, and branch engagements. I'd like to invite Mrs. Sena Ayodeji, Associate Member CIoD. Please put your hands together for her as she makes her way to the stage for the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the President and Chairman of the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Directors of Nigeria, I want to thank you for being here, because without you, we won't have any induction. So please, could our new members give themselves a round of applause? I want to thank distinguished members of the Governing Council here present. I want to thank my DG CEO for being so supportive of this event. Thank you, sir. I want to also thank each and every one of you, because without you, we wouldn't be here. Thank you so much once again. I also like to appreciate the chairman of the Membership and Branch Development Committee, in the person of the second vice president of the Institute, Mrs. Amina Oyagbola, FCIOD. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. We also want to thank our distinguished sponsors. We have quite a number of sponsors that have made this event possible. We have ARM, we have quite a number, Unicel, FSL, HIFA, NDIC, MPA, Intercontinental Distillers, Mainstream, and so many others. Nigerian Police, and so many others. There's too numerous to mention. I just want to thank each and every one of you. You have really made this event memorable. Thank you very much. And as we go and close this event, I want to wish us Godspeed and journey message back to our respective destinations. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Yes, awesome. So we can make our way, members of the Governing Council, please, we can come out, and then all new members of the Chartered Institute of Directors, freshly baked, new members. Yes, please, you can make your way to the stage. Thank you. Some of us will have to stand behind, and then some on the stage, and then all around. New members only. Thank you. New members only. Thank you. I think some of us should stand down. Yes, stand down.